Hello everyone, good morning. As you can see, you have a chat box where you can type the message. Today is the first day of our session, so don't worry. Today's day will be focusing on making yourself comfortable to this platform. I know you all are very new to the online platform, so please don't worry. We'll take our time, be patient, and try to make sure first we get comfortable. So am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Anandu, good morning, Anandu. Good morning. Others who have joined in, please give me your attendance. Just type a good morning so that I understand that you are also with me. It's a very new experience for all of us, something which we have not thought that we would require to get or we would be experiencing. It's a very new experience. Morning, morning, Akhil. Morning. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning. Thank you for the response. Thank you so much. I think it's going to be some. Usually, we have the students in front of us. We can see how they react. This is an online class. So, good morning. Good morning. It's going to be a pretty different experience. But I'm telling you from my experience of last, I think it's been more than 2 months that I'm in an online platform right now, taking classes for CA final, CA intermediate, regular batches. I'm telling you, it's been really good. It's been really good. The initial part, you might be a little, you know, you might find it a little difficult because you're not used to it. But going ahead, you will find it very comfortable. Okay, so you just have to have a little bit of patience to make sure that you are, understanding how the things work. Okay, so all these technical things that is there regarding your chat box, regarding the, what do you say, the internet connectivity issues, the buffering issues. Okay, all those things are obviously a concern, but don't worry, all those things will get adjusted within a few days. And as you know that these classes are live classes. The reason for the live classes is to make sure that we interact and you are properly, you are able to get the classes on a live platform. And as students face connectivity issues, and as students have data issues, we have decided to make sure that these classes will be available as recorded also, once the recorded also even after the live session gets over. So the best thing about this is that you will be uh, you'll be able to watch this later also. Okay. I think you all have access to the Telegram group. Yes, the Telegram group that has been created for the purpose of this particular class, so that we could have a little more better communication, and I could give you few notes. And as I told you, we'll be conducting weekly exams. That is, we have classes twice a week, and this is audit. Then you have IT, you have SM. If you have not aware, it's a morning batch focusing on two subjects, that is auditing and ITSM. You can either take all the subjects or take every subject separately, that is your wish. Okay, so that is clear. Auditing is different, IT is different, SM is different. IT is for old syllabus. Please tell all the students who are doing old syllabus that these particular classes of old syllabus, you have only this batch. Yeah. um, study materials. Yes, I will tell you what study materials to use, which is what you have to learn, and everything will be told in the class. So don't worry about the study materials, just relax and enjoy the class. Okay, so I'll giving you all the details regarding the material and everything, so don't worry. So IT old syllabus, I'm again repeating, you don't have any other class. Okay, there's no crash course also coming up for IT old syllabus. So any student want to access to IT old syllabus class by Nirav Mehta sir, this is the only batch that you will get access to it. So make sure that you enroll for the class if you're looking for information technology old syllabus. Okay. This is basically twice a week. Today is Tuesday, then you have it on Wednesday morning 6:30 to 8:30. So please understand, I have revised my timing. I have revised my timing to 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. Okay, because some of the students told me that they are pursuing articleship and they will have to go to their office, and if I take till 9 o'clock, students have a little bit of difficulty in sitting till 9 o'clock. So I have revised my timing to 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. That is 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day, 4 hours in a week. So we'll have also examinations. The examinations will be planned to be conducted. The examinations to be planned to be conducted. Maybe we'll have the exam. When is the Wednesday? You get 2 days or 3 days time to prepare. So we'll have the examination on a Sunday. Okay, so we'll have the examination on a Sunday. So Sunday I will be uploading the question paper in the Telegram group. Okay, so I will be uploading the question paper in the Telegram group, and we will have the answer key uploaded on Monday. So have the answer key uploaded on a Monday. Okay, so Sunday you will have the question paper in the Telegram group, and Monday we will have the answer key discussed, so that you have a clear picture about how you have written the answer. Okay, so what you have to understand is that um, you will have to make sure that you learn whatever is taken every day. Okay, somebody has messaged, Susan Varghese, is it recorded? No, it is not recorded. It is a live session. It is a live session. I am live right here at 6:30 in the morning. I have come live to take class. This is not a recorded session. Okay, it's a live session. So make sure that you are understand, it is a live session going on. I am available. I got up in the morning. You can't see the morning. See, go to CA Inter. Go to CA. Then you have CA Intermediate morning batch there. You can go to CA. You have CA Inter morning batch. In that you can take audit. Okay, so as I told you, today being the first day, there could be some technical glitches for the students. So we are trying to make sure that everybody is able to access the class properly. Some people have already accessed and they have come here, so it looks good to go there. And other students might be finding it a little difficult. Let's wait for another 2-3 more minutes. But till then, I have few announcements to make. So Sunday and Monday. So as I said, Sunday we will have the examination, and Monday will be your answer key. So on Tuesday again we'll be meeting for the sessions. Okay, so 2 hours per day. Now we will be commencing it today and we will have the classes till October is what I told you. Now why is that I am keeping the classes till October only twice a week? Because see, it's very important in a theory paper to study what is being taken. Now, generally in a crash course, yes, I have a crash course coming up in the month of October. That is from October 1st to October 12th. So there will be 4 hours in a day for 10 days. It's not for 12 days, for 10 days. So almost 45 hours. 40 hours will be the timings for the crash course in October. But that is a continuous class, 4 hours in a day. That is basically like a revision model where you can revise the topics, where there will be a crash course. It will be a crash course. But this, what I have designed, is not like a crash course. This I have designed more like a regular batch where you can start learning from the scratch. Okay, where you can start learning from the scratch. Okay, the idea is very simple, that we will have around 45, we'll have around 45 to 50 hours, almost 50 hours of live sessions. Okay, we'll have around 45 to 50 hours of live sessions, and I'll also be providing around 10 hours of a recorded session. Okay, so almost 45 to 50 hours of live sessions will be there till October 7th, and around 10 to 15 hours of what, recorded session, mostly 10 hours of a recorded session. So basically you get around 65 hours of auditing classes in this particular morning batch. Okay, so you can understand the difference. It's almost like a regular batch. It's almost like a regular batch. So it's 90% we are going for live classes, but there are certain topics where interaction is not required or interaction is not a must. So where I can explain to you as a monologue and a one-way process. So there I will be giving you the recorded classes which will be uploaded on the websites, which can be accessed by you at any time that you want. Are you able to understand? So totally what happens, you get a 65 hours of auditing session. So totally you get a auditing session which is like a regular batch. Do you understand? Do you understand? So that is the difference. So students were asking me, sir, what is the difference? How is it going to be different? You have again batch in the month of October. Why is that you're conducting a batch now? See the difference. There it is October. It's too late, and it is for revision purpose for the November examination. And there my focus will be on taking classes every day, 4 hours a day. So there you'll be a little more prepared and attend the classes, and you're learning on an examination perspective. But this batch is basically to make you understand from the scratch what auditing is. Every week, 4 hours of session. You spend 4 hours in a class. Then you spend around 10 hours in a week for studying. Imagine 4 hours plus 10 hours in a week you spend for studying these 4 hours. So automatically what happens is you finish learning the subject by October 7th. You will finish it. Then you can start writing model exams. And don't worry, I will be conducting model question papers. I will be giving model question papers in the Telegram group. I will be with you till your exams get over. So you have no concerns on that. I will be with you till your examination gets over. So please tell all your friends that it is the best way to learn audit. It's the best way to learn audit because it's a very slow process that is happening. Now everybody wants quick classes. Everybody wants everything to be completed in a month or maybe in 20 days. But yes, every day if you attend classes, it's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that easy. That is the only reason that two kind of batches are introduced by Lakshya, so that any student who feels I need time, I need to prepare a little slow, I cannot have too many portions in a day, they can easily have this particular batch, which could be something which you would actually feel comfortable when you study. Okay, so that is the reason of announcing this morning batch, not affecting your articleship. But main thing you please understand, it is very very important to make sure that you are well prepared when the examination is held in Sunday. Okay, because there is where the real test is, there is where the real challenge is. That means what you study on the week, by listening to the class and also by studying by your own, whether you are able to reproduce the answers in the exam hall is very very important. So what generally happens is by the time October 7th is there, you would have already written around 8 to 9 examinations. And I've also planned that once the 1 month gets completed, that is August, we have 4 weeks to go. 4 weeks get completed, we will have a monthly exam based on the portions taken on the month. Are you able to understand? So the whole month's portion, we will compile it and make a single question paper, have a model exam. So in August, you are writing 4 exams plus a model exam. September, 4 exams plus a model exam. October, you are writing around one exam. So totally there, you see how many exams you write. Around 11 exams you will be writing. Along with that, after October 7th, once the batch gets completed, we'll have a model exam again on the total subject. At least 2 model exams. Then you don't have to worry. This is what you can do for audit. Audit, you don't have to have any other timetable as such. Just follow with me. Just follow with me, then you will be able to clearly clear the exams with maximum marks in the month of November 2020. Okay, so before I move forward, I want to know few things from you as far as the class is concerned. Now I think mostly you would have gone in, some people have maybe have not joined, we'll see later. So my question is, how many of you, anybody of old syllabus here, anybody, any students of old syllabus in the class? Old syllabus, old syllabus. Please reply in the chat box if anybody is from the old syllabus. Yes? Okay. Two students have said yes. Swati is old. Harrier, yes. Ashraf, yes, yes, yes. Old. Okay. So I see quite a few number of students in old syllabus also. Okay. So there is both old as well as new syllabus. So don't worry. Okay. Don't worry. 80 percentage portions, 80 percentage of the portions for both syllabus is the same. Okay. 80 percentage portions of both syllabus is the same. Around 20 percentage is different. That is why it's told you I will be providing recorded classes also. Okay, so that will be available too. So both the syllabus will be covered. Both the syllabus will be covered. Okay, don't worry. So that is how the plan is. 80 percentage syllabus is the same. There are few portions which are different. Sometimes I would have a live session only for the old syllabus. I will have a live session only for the new syllabus. That will be just one class. Rest everything will be a combined session. And I'll provide you recorded sessions exclusively for old and few exclusively for new also, where the portions are different. Okay, so don't worry at all regarding which syllabus, but I just wanted to know whether there are students of old syllabus. Please understand. Now, old syllabus students, now as far as you are concerned, let me be very frank to you. Okay, you, as far as you are concerned, the biggest problem that you people are facing is a good material to learn. But let me tell you, be it old syllabus or new syllabus, the best material is the institute material. The best material to learn is the institute material. Right now, the new syllabus textbook that the institute has designed, the intermediate study material which the institute has designed, which is available in the ICI's website, which is available in the ICI's website, ICI's website is the best material available for both the syllabus, be it new syllabus or the old syllabus. The institute study material is right now the best material available in the market. It's very surprising to say this, but it is true. It is the best material available in the market. Don't even think about purchasing any material from any author, even from me. Because the material that the institute has designed for the new syllabus is the best material available in the market, which can give you the maximum marks. Even the old syllabus students can follow this material, can use this material for their purpose. You can use it. Take it from me. If you want, I'll show you an example. Let's take ICA's website. if you go to students, I'm just showing how the material can be downloaded. You have the students, you have Board of Studies knowledge portal. In that you have new scheme and old scheme, correct? Here is where the material is, but right now I want to show something else to you. Now in old scheme, intermediate course, auditing and assurance, question paper, November 19. I know one question paper that you people don't want to see is the November 19 question paper, because it was one of the toughest examinations conducted for CA Intermediate. Toughest examination, correct? Now, in this particular question paper, you can see this question. Public monies should not be utilized for the benefit of a particular person or section of the community. List out the exceptions to this rule while audit against propriety. And this question came for the examination. That is, public monies should not be utilized for the benefit of a particular person or section of community. List out the exceptions to this rule while audit against propriety. Correct? So this particular question was there. Students were thinking from where the question is taken. Some students who would have gone through practice manual, maybe they would have found out, but I don't think that question is there also. Maybe it is there. But the study material has. But if you actually look into, if you actually look into this particular chapter of the new syllabus study material, that is audit of different types of entities, chapter number 13. In that particular case of government audit, okay, where you have propriety audit, propriety audit. This is what propriety audit is. And you can just read this particular point. It says public monies should not be utilized for the benefit of a particular person or section of community unless they have given you 4 points. 4 points. Do you see this? This is new syllabus textbook, where point number C talks about public money should not be utilized for the benefit of a particular person or section of community. You can see this question paper. Public money should not be utilized for a benefit of a person or a section of community. List out the exceptions to this rule while audit against propriety. Here you can see unless these 4 points. Do you see this? If you see, this would have been an easy question for you if you would have gone through the new syllabus textbook. New syllabus textbook, because the textbook is designed beautifully. Now this question paper is an old syllabus question paper, and the textbook that I've kept is a new syllabus textbook. This is November 19 examination. Do you understand? So what I'm trying to say is, all these questions that you see here, many things are taken from the new syllabus textbook also. Many questions are taken from the new syllabus textbooks. You understand? So it's good if you can go through the new syllabus textbooks when you are trying to learn the subject. Okay, when you're trying to learn the subject, all these are there in the new syllabus textbook. Specific reserves and all these are there in the new syllabus textbook. That is why I'm saying, for the time being, you can follow the new syllabus textbook for your preparation purpose. Okay, even your material is good. Old syllabus material is also good, which you can also download and keep for reference purpose. I'll tell you what to refer there. So the material that we will be using for studying purpose will be the institute study material. Do you understand? So whatever I am teaching, it will be from the institute study material. So what is the good thing about this? The best thing about learning from the institute study material is that what we learn and what is there in the institute's RTPs, MTPs and suggested answer will not differ. You understand? That is why I said the best material available to you right now to learn audit is the institute study material. The reason is, right now what is happening among the students, that students are actually learning from different materials. So they have different answers with them. Now the institute is asking a question and you are writing an answer which from the book that you have learned. Okay, nothing against the book, but what I'm trying to say is what you have written would be a polished version of the book also. It will not be a cut copy paste of the book also. Correct? An institute answer is there with the examiner who is trying to correct the answer. Now the examiner will go through the institute's suggested answers and he will go through your answer. What will happen is there will be a huge difference in how you have written and what is there in the institute suggested answers. Understand why? The book that you have learned for audit, that book itself could be a summary of what is there in the institute's material or a polished version of the sentences given in the institute material. You learn from there and you again polish it more in the exam hall, or when you study you may learn it in a polished manner. Again in the exam hall it reduces, the content reduces. Are you getting my point? That means if this is 100% content, if your institute material is 100% content, 100% perfect, the book that you have learned would have made the language a little more simple for you to understand. Imagine it is around 80% perfect. Now this book which is 80% perfect, when you learn something out of it. You don't learn the complete 80%. So there you learn around 60% out of this. Then in the exam hall you don't remember all the 60%. From there you filter yourself and write around 30%. So ultimately what is happening is institute's 100% when you write in the exam becomes around 30%. That is where somewhere you are not getting marks. I hope you are getting the point. See, what I want you to do is, why it became 30% is because of these two. That is using another material and learning little bit out of it. Imagine you completely, disregard this part. Still it is okay. Because 100% here it could become 80%, here it could become 60%. Do you understand? This is one way. Some things what you can do, you can disregard this part also. That means don't learn something from the material. Learn everything, certain topics. So for those topics, it will be 80%. Your answer will be 80% perfect. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? We have to make sure middlemen are not there. It's like how the price in the market increases due to middlemen. If you purchase directly from the farmer, how less the rice or the vegetable cost, and how much it increases when it reaches the a perfect market. That is due to middlemen. The same thing is happening here. Your marks are reducing due to these middlemen. You are using a lot of other materials, you are learning little bit out of it, then you're remembering few out of it, then you're writing few out of it. Are you getting my point? So avoid all those people. Avoid it. Directly attack from the institute material. Are you getting my point? Directly attack from the institute material. Learn from the institute material. Are you all there with me? Are you able to hear me? Are you able to understand what I'm saying? Yes? Are we together? Are we together? Are we able to be together? You're able to understand what I'm saying? Yes, my students, please respond to me. I cannot see you. Okay, sometimes if the chat box is stuck, it's still okay. If you can access the Telegram group, you can just tell it in the Telegram group. Okay, if the chat box gets stuck, we have the Telegram group for communication. So don't worry on that part. Okay, okay, fine. Now what I want to convey. So this is what the basic mistake of a student is. I think when I told you this, most of you could relate it to what I'm saying regarding this part. Regarding this part, correct? Most of you could relate. Yes, sir. I have been learning from some other material. Yes, sir. I learned few from that. Yes, sir. Only few I am writing in the exam. I can understand now why am I losing marks. See, our focus is not to get 40. Our focus is to get 60 plus. 60 plus 70, that should be our focus. It's high time that we think a little bit more. High time. See, we certain things we felt as impossible in our life has become possible. I'll tell you what. Sitting at home, not going to theaters, not eating from hotels, wearing a mask all day long. Have you ever imagined that human beings of this generation could do this? Not going to a theater for so long, not going to a hotel for so long. You were locked up at home for so many days. Nobody thought that human beings of this generation would do all this, but we did it. That's why I say some things we feel which is impossible. Actually, practically, it will be possible. Same way as audit. Getting marks here is possible. But the problem is you're not attacking the right book. You understand? Attacking the right book is important. And what is a right book is very simple. Your intermediate study material is very, very important. You understand? That is why now see, I'll show you the example for this also. Now, this is the question. What is the question? This is the question that was asked. Public money has not been utilized. Some question was public money should not be used for a list of the exception against propriety. Obviously, institute would have given some suggested answers. They have released. Is it November 19 suggested answers? So, November 19 suggested answers. Clearly, they are saying suggested answers are not the perfect answers, but still suggested answers are something which we consider to be perfect, correct? Even if they say it is not a perfect answer, obviously for us it should be the perfect answer because we don't have any other, what do you say, any other choice. Now you see this how they have done. Public money should not be utilized for the benefit of a particular person or section of committee unless. Can you see these 4 points? Now this, what they have done, have they written or drafted any new answer here? No. It is a cut copy paste of what is there here. It is a cut copy paste of what is there here. Do you understand? So the answer, suggested answer, they're saying suggested answer are not the perfect answer. You could differ from it. But what I'm saying is that whatever answers that the institute is taking is directly from the institute material only. So this could be the answer that even the examiner who is correcting receives. So he would be expecting you to write it in this manner. Any simplified version of this will be accepted, but not a very, very simplified version. That is why I'm saying you remove these two parts. You remove these two parts, your simplification reduces. Are you getting my point? I'm not saying you're going to write the ditto answer that is there in the textbook. That is not possible. You will be simplifying the answer in the examination. But imagine you learn directly from the material and you don't try to simplify it then and there. In the exam hall, what you simplify will become very less. And it will be almost perfect to the answer given in the examiner's, answer key. There you will start earning marks. Are you getting my points? Why I am telling you all this is, my students, because the saddest part, even in what I have done first, that is, you learn from a material, you simplify it, you write a simplified version in the exam. The student here is actually studying, correct? No. A student here is actually studying. He's studying from another book. He's simplifying it and learning. Then he's writing. That is what I'm saying. Is this is why sometimes students asks me, sir, even if I am learning properly, still why am I not able to get marks? Because your book or your focus is not correct. Do you understand? Your focus is not correct. So you download this material, institute material from the institute website, and keep it as a PDF with you for reference purposes. For reference purposes. Okay, I will be teaching from the institute material. Okay, that is one thing that I want you all to know. Then as far as the classes are concerned, as I told you, recorded classes will be available to view later. That doesn't mean you miss the live sessions. Now, live sessions are very important. I'll tell you why. Because it makes you sit for the 2 hours. Now, recorded session, you have to listen accordingly. You have to plan your day. And that finding out 2 hours to watch this will be a hectic task, let me tell you. You will not be able to watch it because you are not forced to do it. But live session, you are forced. You have to sit. You have to sit for the class. You don't have a choice. So you sit and you finish it. And it's early in the morning. So there is nothing else to do from 6:30 to 8:30. See, at least for you, you can sit at home. That means if the class is at 6:30, you can get up at 6:25, here and there brush. Even if you don't brush, nobody's going to understand what you wear, what you do. But you can just sit at 6:30 in the morning and start attending the class. It's better than me, at least. I have to travel from my home till my office. Now what you see here, I have come to my office to take the class, because at my home the internet connectivity issues would be there. The broadband, I don't have a broadband connection there, and we need a different setup. We need a different setup with this particular, what do you say, we need a green screen, webcam, lot of things. This is what I've done in my office room in Calicut. I've converted it into a studio. So I need to travel at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have to get up at 5:45, and come here. So you are still in a better position. I still feel like an offline because I have to travel and come to the class. But let me tell you very frankly, because it's an online session, you should not watch it as if you're watching a movie, on the bed, okay, leaning here and there, sitting like this. You should not do that. You should be a little more disciplined. Sit properly on a chair, you have a table, as if you're sitting for a class. Everybody should have a notebook and a pen with them. Everybody should have it. Okay, running notes is very, 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 very important. Running notes. Please understand, running notes is extremely important. So what is done in the class, the running notes have to be written. And when I say repeat, you should sit there and repeat. Do you understand? When I say write, you should sit there and write. Don't think nobody is watching you, you can do anything what you like. Understand, the seriousness should be there with you. I personally feel the dressing also should be good. Okay, but I'm not insisting too much on it. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that discipline, if you have, get up around 6:15 or at least 6:10 in the morning, get fresh, drink some water. Best thing to do is get up in the morning and first drink some hot water. You'll feel good. Do you understand? Then you have that posture, everything right. So then what happens is you get the interest in the class. Otherwise, what happens? You tell me. Students will just like that, just attend the class and go. You might sleep off also. I think some students have already got up from their bed and they're still, you are feeling it. But I'm saying that should not be the way. Okay, 2 hours, just 2 hours. It's very easy. I understand. Because of corona, we're like, there's no classes, there's no offline classes. I'm telling you, just look at your luck. Okay, blame the corona, no offline classes, but look at your luck. You get classes early in the morning, which was never possible when offline was there, because no student in Kerala used to travel that early. Point number 2, you are from different parts of the state or country, still you are able to access the class of the faculty that you want, which is not possible then because he used to teach at one place. Correct? Third, you had to travel early for classes. You had your traveling time, which is completely negated. Correct? Spending time with friends here and there, chit chatting, gone, completely gone. Correct? So totally lots of advantages. Your tiredness is less. Yes, your eyes will be tired. That is one negative impact. But 2 hours is manageable. Correct? Data consumption is very high. True. It will be very high. When you get this quality of class, data consumption would be high. But understand, your traveling expense, your food expense, everything is gone. So there is no harm in spending around 200 to 50 rupees on a data every month. Not more than that will be required. Even if it is 500 rupees, it's worth it. It's worth it. You can spend on the data. That is an investment. You can just boost up your data for this class. Do you understand? So all these advantages, because of what this opportunity, the crisis, opportunities because of this crisis. So all these, understand, are the best thing that has happened. So take advantage of it. Do you understand? 2 hours a day session was not possible when it was offline. Do you understand? All these is possible only because of the online thing. And the best part, in offline, what happens? You listen to the class, you sleep off in the class, you miss it. Correct? You don't attend the class, you miss the class. Look at online. Recorded sessions available. You can view this session multiple times. Do you understand? You can view this session multiple times. You can view it later. You miss the live session, you get the recorded. So understand what has happened. You are able to view a faculty's class many times. Don't you think you have felt in your offline sessions, I wanted to hear this again. I want to listen to that again. If I could listen to that class once more. See, it is there. So to be frank, my students, this is a huge opportunity. Please tell your friends. Please tell your friends, come and attend this session. Please tell your friends, come and attend this session. Tell them how good the atmosphere is. Tell them how good the platform is, lakshya-classes.com. Tell them how good the class is being arranged. You can see the screen here. It's very visible. The faculty, the positive vibe in the class. Subject, don't worry. I'll teach you very, very well, and I'm sure about it. Most of you would have been my students also. So understand the benefit that the students are getting. Which students? Many students are not knowing. Many people have joined the class. But others who have not, you have your friends. Talk to them. Make them understand. Tell them. Register. You see the class, today's class, it will be available as recorded. Watch it. Listen to what sir is saying. Because what I'm saying is not something which is cooked up. It's something reality, which is actually happening. Do you understand? So this is the advantage that you should be able to grab with both your hands. Okay, fine. Now, as you know, the question paper is divided into 30%, 30 marks MCQ and 70 marks descriptive. So MCQs is something which we have around 30 marks. Now, even if you look at the latest RTP, or the May 20 RTP that is there, auditing and assurance. This is the old syllabus RTP, so there are a lot of amendments would be shown because your textbook does not contain these chapters. Okay, contain these chapters. That is why this your RTP is around 80-85 pages. Your chapter number 11, everything is reprinted here. Now these MCQs, can you see here? Integrated case scenario. Integrated case scenario. Now this was a new introduction in May 20 exam. Unfortunately, the exam was not there. Otherwise, May 20 would have been the first examination where they would have tested multiple choice question based on integrated case scenarios. So they will give you a case study like this, and based on this case study, they will be giving you questions, MCQs. Now, what is the point of asking questions like this? It's very simple. This integrated case scenario based question, sir, will there be normal MCQs? Yes, it will be both combined. So I think there will be 1 or 2 integrated case based scenario questions and rest will be 1 or 2 marks of normal MCQ questions. But what is the difference in integrated case study based questions? Very simple. There the question will not be based on a single topic. The question will be spread to multiple topics. When I say multiple topics, which means they could ask a case study which might have some reference to essay 200 that is in chapter number 1. It would have a reference to essay 500 chapter number 3 that is new syllabus. You could have a reference to essay 580 chapter number 3. There may be a reference to section 141 chapter number 10 company audit. I am saying it will be spread across the chapters. Do you understand? It will be spread across the chapters. across the chapter also sometimes. Imagine chapter number 2 consists of lots of concepts: audit plan, audit program, audit strategy, and audit materiality. All the 4 concepts will be covered in that scenario, and you will have 5 MCQ based question based on the scenario, and all the concepts will be covered in that 5 MCQs. So what has happened is, you will have to have a proper understanding of all the topics to write these scenario based questions, and you will have to know the interlink between these standards and company audit and other chapters. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it is like, we don't know, sometimes what happens is, if we miss one topic, we could lose it because of the scenario based questions. Okay, so in the class we will be focusing on understanding where all such questions could be asked and how to crack these questions. Don't worry. But for that you need knowledge about lot of chapters to do these type of questions. It's a new addition to the MCQs. Because when MCQs was introduced, the initial 2 exams, it was very simple. Now also it will be simple, but they have just changed the pattern a little bit. Okay, so you cannot miss out on any chapter, you cannot miss out on any topic. That is what you have to understand. These are the integrated case study based scenario questions which has been introduced. You understand, which has been introduced. And there is correct or incorrect question. Correct or incorrect question which is still remaining. That means, imagine now how, just imagine now how this is working right now. 30 marks is MCQs. 14 marks is what? Correct or incorrect question. That means out of your 100, 44 marks will go in MCQs and correct or incorrect. So descriptive part of the question paper is only for 56 marks. Descriptive part of the question paper is only for 56 marks. There was a time when I wrote the exam 100 marks descriptive questions, 4 marks, 5 marks, 6 mark questions. Now 44 marks comes from where? From MCQs and one word questions. That means our study or our line of focus is now 50% learning those sentences which could come as MCQs and correct or incorrect, and 50% descriptive answers. Are you getting my point? That is where students are not understanding. Right now the question paper's balance has completely changed with the introduction of MCQs. One word sentences have picked up. That means if you are good at this 44 itself, you will be able to clear the paper. This can be improved only if you are listening in the class properly and you are reading the textbook very carefully. Practicing a number of questions will not help in MCQs. It might help you in correct or incorrect question only. So please understand that you will have to get the focus right as far as the question paper is concerned. Now you see, this is the RTP of the old syllabus. I think there will be an RTP for the new syllabus also, correct? New syllabus also. RTP for the new syllabus. This is the May 20 RT for the new syllabus, correct? Now see this. First integrated case study is NSG Associates. NSG Associates. Let's see in the old syllabus RTP, what is it? Case study based scenario question. What is the first question? Let us see. Because there are few things that you should know today itself. The old syllabus students especially. Here Moon Group, they have given regarding some question. It's a different question they have given. Here they have given about audit program, audit plan, etc. Correct? Here also, if you see, this is a different question, but this question of what? JNK Associates is the same question. The second question is the same. First question they have given it differently. Why? Because first question here is based on internal audit function and all that. Here it is based on one chapter called as computer based audit, which is not there. This chapter is not there for the new syllabus. It's a different chapter there. That's why this question is different. But second question, same question. Correct? Same question. Then correct or incorrect question. This nature and objective and correct or incorrect question is given here. Short, true or false. SA 210 requires a government does not mechanism for process an account. Let's see in this, what is it? SA 210 government, what is the last question? Risk assessment procedure not performed. What is the last question? Risk assessment procedure not performed. Can you see this? The questions here are almost similar. Few things which are not required, they have just removed. Now, this question is not there. An account should be treated as out of order. Why? This is from bank audit. Bank audit is not there for which syllabus? The old syllabus. That is why they have not included this question. They have just removed it. There are similar questions, they have taken the same. Do you understand? Here also nature, objective, scope of audit they have given for old syllabus. Same heading they have given for new syllabus. And they have given questions, persons conducting audit, same assertions and subject matters are some. So these four questions are the same. Correct? Then fourth question, there is a new question here. Discrepancies accounting records regarding fraud. But that is because fraud is a different chapter for which syllabus? For the new syllabus. That is why they have included that question here in fraud. But here it is in chapter number 1 for you. So that question is included here. What I am trying to show you is the questions are the same. The questions are the same. Here in chapter number 3 is for new syllabus, you have external confirmation. So they have even defined the following. Here you would have in chapter number 2 define the following. Are you able to get what I am trying to say? You can see your chapter number 3 is preparation for audit. There it is regarding plan, strategy, etc. Here it is chapter number 2. See, plan, strategy. Are you able to understand old syllabus, students? It is for you to understand that what is there in new syllabus, it is the same in old syllabus also now. That is why I said you can follow the institute material of the new syllabus for learning old syllabus also. I have given you the clear understanding from the question papers in the website and the RTPs. So don't understand, I have not cooked up this story. I have compared both the RTPs and shown you. Except the different chapters, the common chapters, question paper pattern is now the same. Are you getting my points? Is now the same. So please download the institute study material, both old and new syllabus for both the students. I need the PDFs. Do you understand? I need the PDFs in the class when you study. Okay. Now, so all these things that I've explained, see, because it's the first day, don't think that I'm just wasting my time, because we have to get adjusted to this platform. Correct? You need to get adjusted. So that is why we need some time. That is why we are trying to make sure that today, being a first day of session, we are trying to understand how the things go. Okay. So sessions will be taken, but this is how initially we have to do. So that is why I'm just waiting so that both of you get adjusted to this particular platform of lakshya-classes.com. Okay. Now, so I hope that you've understood regarding all this. Now, standards on auditing. Now, what you have to understand is there are few standards on auditing which are only applicable for the old syllabus. It is not there for the new syllabus. Okay, few chapters which are not applicable for the new syllabus. So there is a cut short in the syllabus for new syllabus for the new syllabus as far as standards on auditing is concerned. But extra topics are there for the old syllabus students. Okay, so that way also few additions are there which you have to go through. Fine. Now, so now before we start the class, what I want you to do is take your notebook and behind your notebook you write what is the expectation of you of auditing paper in this particular November attempt, how much marks do you expect to score? Just write. It could be any marks. And you open it only when you get your marks in the month of January when the results come out. Okay, just write your expected marks just for the fun of it. What is the expected marks today before starting the class, before the class starts? What is your expectation? Just try to understand your expectation. Okay, how much marks you are expecting to score. So write it and keep, so that it will stay as a good memory, and you can see how different was your expectation, what is the reality that happened. Okay, so write the expectation now and do this every month. After 1 month you write your expectation, next after September you write your expectation, then October 15th you write your expectation, before November exams you write your expectation, after the exam gets over don't write your expectation. On that day, after every exam gets over, you can write. And when the results come, you see, and you can see the variation also. It is something that you should do. I'll tell you why, because it's a mental exercise to keep you intact with your aim. Sometimes we forget our aim. So do this every month. If you do it within every 15 days, well and good. It will keep you reminded of your aim to score marks. So you will feel like studying. So try to remember this and try to do this. It's going to be very, very good for you. It will help you in making sure that you learn. You're motivated to learn. You're motivated to learn. Do you understand? Somewhere in the notebook behind you, write it and keep, and it will be really, really helpful for you. Okay, fine. Now I think we'll just have a small introduction to the class. Correct? Let's try to start the subject in a very light manner today. I'll not be extending too much first day, but a light discussion we'll have it today. Fine. Now, so are you ready? Shall we start? Yes, my students, are you all ready? Shall we start? All geared up, all excited, all pumped up, all positive, all happy? Yes. Shall we attack? Shall we learn? Shall we love the subject audit and assurance? Shall we do it? Okay. So, welcome to CA Intermediate Auditing and Assurance morning batch. I am your faculty Avinash Kulur. So let's start the beautiful subject of auditing and assurance. Now, the word audit, it was derived from a Latin word called as audire, A-U-D-I-R-E. So the word audit was derived from a Latin word called as audire, which means to hear, which means to hear, which means to hear. Do you understand? The word audit was derived from a Latin word called as audire, which means to what? To hear, which means to hear. So it's basically, do you know? It's basically why that the word audire. It's a Latin word, audire, which means to hear, hear. You understand? Which means to hear, to hear. Now the question is, why was the word audire, the Latin word audire, used to describe the word audit? It is because you know, it is trying to, in the olden times long ago, the way by which examinations were conducted, verifications was done, was more by a listening process. I repeat, before, in olden times, audit has been generally an examination. It's a verification, correct? So in the olden times, examinations, verifications were mostly conducted by a listening mode. The person used to listen to it, hear. Imagine a person prepares accounts. The accounts will be read out, and the other person will used to listen to it. So the mode of examination in earlier stages or in the olden times was mostly by listening or by hearing. And as you know, English words are mostly borrowed from Latin words. The meaning of the word to hear, the Latin word which resembles to hear, is called as audire. That is why they developed this word audit from the word order, Latin word order, which means to hear. So auditor is a good listener. He hears out people. He listens. That was how it was done in olden times. But obviously, as the years progressed, a lot of changes came to the subject of audit. No, I would not be wrong if I say there was a time when auditor was focusing on fraud also. There was a time when an auditor was required to focus on the aspects of fraud, where he was required to check whether there is a fraud or not. But gone are those days where fraud was the objective of the auditor. Everything now has changed. There has been a lot of changes to the process of audit. You understand the objectives of audit? A lot of things have changed. Okay, and in the years to come, it will change more. The objectives, the focus, the responsibilities will change more. You understand? So, audit, the term was derived from a Latin word called as audit, which means to hear. Now, when I say audit, or when I say auditor, or when I say auditor, the one person that will come to our minds, or the person that comes to our minds, is with a qualification of what? A chartered accountant. Anytime we hear this word auditor, for us, the first person that comes to our mind is a chartered accountant. Why? It is not because we are learning CA, not because we are doing CA. It is because that any layman always feels an auditor is always a chartered accountant. Any layman, any person, they always feel the auditor is a chartered accountant. Auditor is a chartered accountant. But please understand, it is not always like this. Not always the auditor is a chartered accountant. Not always the auditor is a chartered accountant. Do you understand? Why, sir? For example, let's try to come to our area of discussion. You know, there is something called as cost records. There is something called as what records? Cost records. Cost records. Now, there is a difference between financial records and what records? Cost records. It's very, very important to learn cost records from the examination perspective also. Cost records, cost books and all that. Now, cost records will give you details with respect to utilization of material, labor, other items of what? Cost. Basically, cost records are maintained by those companies who are engaged in manufacturing, and these are required by the central government to maintain. Central government requires certain companies to compulsorily maintain what records? Cost records. That is a central government requirement to maintain cost records. And these cost records will give you details with respect to material, labor, other items of cost. See, what is financial records? Financial records are nothing but, or accounts, accounting records are nothing but, it is a translation of the business activities into accounting terms. It is historical financial statements. It is historical accounts. Something which has already happened is translated into the accounting language. It is called as the business language, accounts. But cost records, it is different. Cost records, it is basically given for decision making, to determine the price, to determine the whether it has to be manufactured, total cost. That is why it is called as management accounting. What you do in costing is a management accounting for management purposes. What chartered accountant is financial accounting. It is for financial purpose, just to understand what is the finance, how much money has been spent. Now, where the central government requires certain companies to maintain what records? Cost records. The same way central government also requires the cost records to be audited. It is called as cost audit. It is called as what? Cost audit. Now take it from me. Cost audit is not done by a chartered accountant. It is also an audit, but not done by a chartered accountant. Then who does cost audit? It is done by a cost accountant who has qualified cost accountancy. Okay, here it is also audit. It is called as cost audit. of what record? Cost records. Cost records. Now listen carefully. Every exam, I don't know for whose joy, but they continuously ask questions from where? Cost records. They love these, your institute loves this particular topic of cost audit. So please make sure that you're learning. Okay, so cost audit, they are saying cost audit is an audit process for verifying the cost of manufacture or production of any article on the basis of accounts as regards utilization of material or labor or other items of cost maintained by the company. So what is cost audit? Cost audit is an audit process for verifying the cost of manufacture or production of any article on the basis of accounts as regards utilization of material or labor or other items of cost maintained by the company. It is covered under section 148 of the Companies Act 2013. Okay, as per section 148, the central government may by order specify audit of items of cost in respect of certain companies. So one, there is applicability for maintenance of cost records. Then when you maintain cost records, then you have applicability for what? Cost audit. You can see here there are two different things. One is you have to know whether cost records have to be maintained. For that, there is a different applicability. Under Companies Act 2013, for companies, there is a different applicability for maintenance of cost records. And those companies who are required to maintain cost records, from that certain companies, there will be application of doing what audit? Cost audit. So, not every company who have to maintain cost records will have to do cost audit. Are you getting my points? We'll come to the details of this later. What I want you to know is who can be cost auditor. The audit shall be done by a cost accountant. Can you see here? So the auditor here is a cost accountant. He is not a chartered accountant. Okay. The same way, there is something called as secretarial audit. Secretarial audit. Secretarial audit. Secretarial audit. Now, secretarial audit, what you have to understand is, it's an audit of compliance with laws and regulations. And that is done by a company secretary. Please learn these words. Secretarial audit. He is called a secretarial auditor. There it is called as cost auditor. We require these words in the coming chapters. You will get this in MCQs. That is why I am not dealing something out of the syllabus. Okay, secretarial audit is an audit of laws and regulations. That is not applicable to all types of companies. Certain class of companies. Secretarial audit. You understand? Secretarial audit. So what you have to know is, here it is done by a company secretary. Here the auditor is a company secretary, not a chartered accountant. So what we have to understand is, not every time the auditor will be a chartered accountant. So when is a chartered accountant involved in the process of examination? What is he examining? When it is an audit of financial statements. When it is an audit of financial statements is where the chartered accountant comes into picture. You understand? When it is an audit of financial statements, the chartered accountant comes into picture. And the most famous audit among all the types of audit is an audit of financial statements. That is why every time a person, when he says auditor, they believe he's a CA, because that is the most famous kind of an audit. Do you understand? So chartered accountant is involved when it is an audit of financial statements. Financial statements or audit of accounts. I don't know how many of you have heard this. When accounting ends, auditing starts. So the accounting has to end for audit to start. So you're doing audit of the accounts, audit of the financial statements, for which a chartered accountant is involved. That is why our syllabus is focusing on this particular aspect of audit of financial statements. Our whole syllabus focuses on audit of financial statements. Financial statements. So income, expense, assets, liabilities, disclosures is what our focus is. Because we are studying how a chartered accountant is going to do audit. Audit of financial statements. Do you all understand? Do you all understand? Now, what is this financial statements actually? Financial statements are prepared from where? From the books of accounts. So books of accounts are maintained. From these books of accounts, what is prepared? Financial statements are prepared. From these books of accounts, what is prepared? Financial statements are prepared. Correct? So those who conduct business, will be those persons who will be maintaining what? Books of accounts and preparing what? Financial statements. And chartered accountant is doing audit of financial statements. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? So it will be those people who are doing business, maintaining books of accounts, preparing financial statements, who where audit of financial statements will be applicable. Now the question is, so should every organization doing business, maintaining books of accounts, preparing financial statements, do the audit of the financial statements? Are you getting my point? Should every organization doing business, maintaining books of accounts, preparing financial statements, conduct audit of their financial statements? Like I told you, cost audit is not applicable for everyone. There are certain class of companies for which cost records are required, and from those companies who require cost records, certain class of companies require cost audit. Now we understood, as far as a chartered accountant is concerned, he is focusing on audit of financial statements. Now who prepares financial statement? Who can prepare financial statements? So those who are maintaining books of accounts. Who maintains books of accounts? Those who are doing business, organizations doing business, entities doing business. Now the question is, should all the entities doing business, maintaining books of accounts, preparing their financial statements, conduct audit of their financial statements? Are you getting my point? Now what is the answer to this question? Now listen, the business can be conducted in many ways. Correct? I may do business alone, then I'll be called as a sole proprietor. Two or more persons can do business together. Partners doing partnership business, they are called as partnership business. Then you could do business as an artificial person like a company. Artificial person like a company. So you could be a sole proprietor. I'm just taking 3 examples. You could be a partnership firm, you could be a company. So if I'm doing business alone, I'm a sole proprietorship business. If I have a partner and we have been doing business together, sharing profits, then we are a partnership business. Or we could have an artificial person created. Artificial person created like a company. Who will do the business? The company will do the business. Do you understand? Do you understand? Now, in sole proprietorship, who is the owner of the business? Who is the owner of the business? It is the sole proprietor. Correct? Who is managing the business? It is the sole proprietor. In partnership firm, who is owner of the business? The partners. Who is managing the business? The partners. Correct? In case of a company, who are the owners of a company? The owners of the company are shareholders. Are whom? Shareholders. Who are managing the company? The board of directors. Now what you have to understand is, in case of a sole proprietor and partnership and company, there are huge differences. You take a sole proprietor and partner, the liability of the owners are unlimited here. The liabilities of the owners are unlimited. That means there is no difference between the business and the owner of the business. It is the same. Whatever happens to the business directly affects the owner of the business. Yes or no? Imagine I'm running a sole proprietorship business, and what happens to this sole proprietorship business? And what happens is there is a loss in the business. I am the owner. I have to bear the loss. The business and the owners are not separate. In partnership, how is it? The partners and the partnership business is not separate. It is the same. But take a company. Company is a artificial person. Company is an artificial person created by law. It is incorporated under an act. Do you understand? Because in a company, what happens? There is an act through which the company has to be incorporated. A separate legal entity is born through an act. The act allows you to give birth to an artificial person. The Companies Act 2013 allows you to give birth to an artificial person called as a company. In partnership and sole proprietorship, there is no artificial person created. The natural persons are the persons who are responsible for everything. They and the business are the same. Are you getting my point? That means if company earns profit, it is whose profit, you tell me? If company earns profit, it is whose profit? If company earns profit, it is whose profit? Come on everybody. You can do it. Come on, come on. I am waiting. Company's profit. Somebody is saying shareholders' profit. Now, please understand, when company earns profit, that is what I said, you should consider company to an artificial legal person. Okay, the moment the company is incorporated, my students listen to me carefully. The moment a company is incorporated, then it is a company who is doing everything. The contract is entered by the company in its own name. The asset is purchased by the company in its own name. The company's liability, company's asset, company's profit, company's loss. Do you understand? That is the biggest difference, my students, between sole proprietor, partnership and company, these artificial persons. In partnership firm, if the partnership business earns profit, it is partners' profit. Because there is no difference between a business and the partners, the owners. But in company, the shareholders are the owners, but shareholders are a natural person, company is an artificial person. The profit earned by the company is the company's profit, which the company may, if they feel, divide it and give it to the shareholders in the form of dividends. Shareholders do not have the full right over the profits. They will get it if the company declares dividend. Are you getting my point? Company is an artificial person created by law. Do you understand? The law creates a company. So what the company has to do, what the company should do is defined by the act. That is the Companies Act 2013 says, if you are a company, now we will tell you what to do. There are a lot of sections given which you will have to follow. Do you understand? But companies, owners are shareholders, but not every shareholder is involved in the business. So they have few people selected who are called as the board of directors. Only in case of a company you will find that ownership and management is different. Not every owner is involved in the management. Now why is that so? Why is that so? There is a reason also. Now take a company like Reliance. Imagine I purchase one share of Reliance. One share, just one share. I become shareholder, I become the owner of the Reliance. But what we have to understand, Mukesh Ambani owns the highest number of shares. He should be given the highest power to take decisions, yes or no? See, me holding one share, even if Reliance goes for a loss, it will not affect me much. Because I'm not losing much money there. But now if Mukesh Ambani is one of the richest man in the world, it is because of the wealth that he is generating from Reliance share value. So out of the shareholders, there are few people who are holding the highest number of shares who want a say in the decision making. That is why you have board of directors. Generally, those people who will have high quantity of shares held by them. And some people who have knowledge about the business. Do you understand? Do you understand? See, in partnership business, anyways, every partners are involved in the business. Sole proprietor, he's only doing the business. So he gets the decision making. Okay, so in company, what you have to understand is a company is an artificial person created by law. Have you heard these two documents of a company? What are two documents? Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Learn this properly. Memorandum of Association, Articles of Association. What is this? Memorandum of Association is considered to be the charter or the constitution of the company. You know what the company can do, the objectives of the company, the name of the company, the situation of the company, the capital of the company, everything is given through memorandum of association. See what happens, how does a company get registered? You go to the register of companies, you file a form, give the fees, the company is incorporated. Now once the company is incorporated, it is an artificial person which cannot be touched, they cannot be seen. Now this artificial person, what it will do? So to give that artificial person a name, a place to stay, money that can be raised, what it can do, objects, you have memorandum of association which gives it a shape. Memorandum of association tells you what the company is all about. My students, you get a lot of questions regarding company audit. Don't you get questions regarding how to audit this in a company, how to audit reserves in a company, how to audit? They'll ask you that loan given to subsidiary company audit. Holding company is giving loan to subsidiary company, they will say audit. Now before you do audit of that loan, first you should know whether that artificial person, that is the company, has the power to give loans. That power is derived from this document called as what? Memorandum of Association. That is why in every audit of companies, the first sentence will be verify Memorandum of Association and Articles of Association. Are you getting my point? When you read through memorandum, you get to know what the company is all about. The company cannot do beyond what is given in the memorandum. If it does anything beyond what is given in the memorandum, it is considered to be an ultra virus act. Beyond the powers. What is articles of association then? Once the memorandum is prepared, the company is being incorporated, the shape is ready. Now the company has to function, decisions have to be taken, meetings have to be conveyed, internally things have to be decided, rules have to be made. That is articles of association. Articles of association gives the internal rules and regulations of a company. So for the outsider, it is a memorandum that is required to understand what the company is. For the insiders to understand their rules and regulations, articles of association is required. So when you have memorandum and articles of association, the artificial person as the company knows what it should do and how it can be done. That is why when the auditor is appointed to audit of companies, he will first to go through the memorandum of association and articles of association to understand what the company is all about and how the company takes its decisions. Are you getting my point? And whatever memorandum, whatever articles of association they draft, it should be within the provisions given by which act? Companies Act 2013. Take it from me, any artificial person incorporated under an act will be abiding what is given in the act. Will be abiding with what is given in the act. So bank is incorporated, Banking Regulation Act. Insurance company incorporated, Insurance Act. Moment an artificial person is created, it will have to do things as per the act. Natural persons, people can do according to what they wish, because anyways their liability is unlimited. They are responsible for everything what the business does. Are you getting my point? But you know, in company, the shareholders' liability is limited. Shareholders' liability is what? Come on, everybody. It is limited. What do you mean by what is limited? Limited to what they have promised to pay to the company. Now imagine that I purchase one share of Reliance. Face value 10 rupees. Face value how much rupees? 10 rupees. That means I have promised Reliance that I will pay 10 rupees to them. So that is my liability. Up to how much rupees? 10 rupees. So that is what I have promised. My liability is not beyond this 10 rupees. Are you getting my point? But what about partnership? Partnership, your liability is to the extent the liability created by the business. Because whatever business liability is your liability. But in company, the owner, the shareholder's liability is limited to the unpaid amount of the share capital. Imagine that he has already paid 6 rupees to the company in the form of application money, allotment money and first call. He is still left to pay 4 rupees. So his liability is limited to that 4 rupees. Are you getting my point? If you link it with the contract acts, there is a contract between the company and the shareholder. Company, an artificial person, has the what do you say, capability of entering into a contract within its powers. So company enters into a contract with shareholder where the company says, you pay me 10 rupees, I will give you dividends and pay this back when the company ends. Shareholder says, very good, I promise to pay you so much, you give me dividends. So there is a contract between the shareholder and the company. Are you getting my point? So in case of a company, as we said, the management is done by the board of directors, but the owners are whom? The shareholders. Now listen to me carefully. So here, because the management and owners are different, the people who invest money into the company, because they are not involved in the day-to-day process, they would want to know whether the money is utilized properly by the board of directors. For that purpose, Companies Act has a section called as 128, which requires companies to maintain what? Books of accounts. Now listen to me carefully. Now the shareholders who have invested into the company, they want to make sure their money is not misused. For that, the Companies Act tells the company, follow section 128, maintain your books of accounts. Now, books of accounts contains everything. It's a books of accounts, journals, ledgers. It's a books of details of everything. So, to simplify the process, to make it more understandable, Companies Act says 129, you prepare financial statements out of the books of accounts. Are you getting my point? You prepare financial statements out of the books of accounts. Now listen, who maintains the books of accounts? The company, that is the directors. Who is responsible for preparation of financial statements? The directors itself. Now listen to me carefully. So the books of accounts has to be maintained by the company through its directors. The financial statements responsibility of preparation is of the directors. The money given by the shareholders are spent by the directors only. Do you understand? Now the biggest question is, how can we believe these financial statements? Because you have spent the money, you only have prepared the accounts. So ultimately, if you don't show anything, or if you undervalue or overvalue something, we will never know. Why? Because preparation is by you. Books of accounts you have prepared. So shareholders have a problem. Shareholders say, see, Companies Act, you are right. Companies maintaining books. Companies preparing financial statements. But how do I believe it? So the Companies Act understood, okay, there should be some person maybe, because Companies Act feels, shareholders told the Companies Act, See, we want to come and examine the books. We want to come and check the financial statements. So shareholders tells the Companies Act, we want to come and check these because we are not believing it. See, Companies Act, what it is doing, it is saying you call an AGM. Companies Act tells the board of directors, you call the AGM. In the AGM, you give the financial statements to the shareholders. Now, in the annual general meeting, the shareholders are present. The financial statements are being distributed. But the shareholders' question to Companies Act is, see, we are all with you, Companies Act. What you have done is superb because you have told the company to maintain books. You have told the company to prepare financial statements. Companies Act, I'm very happy you told them to convene AGM. Give us the financial statements. But Companies Act, you know our biggest problem? We don't know whether these financial statements are properly shown. We don't know what they're submitting to us are true and fair, whether it is proper or not. See, they are telling us it is proper. The board of directors says there is nothing wrong in it. But how can we believe them? We want to come and examine the books. We want to come and examine the books. Though the Companies Act said, see, Mr. Shareholder, what you have to understand. See, companies will have multiple shareholders. It could have 1 lakh shareholders. It could have 35,000 shareholders. Now, how can I allow the shareholders to come and access the books of accounts of the company? So many shareholders are there. How can I give you that power? Shareholders are like, yes, that also you are right. Every shareholder coming and examining books is not a practical solution. So the Companies Act said, don't worry. Let's have a solution. The solution is very simple. The Companies Act said, okay. So to enhance the credibility of the financial statements, to make sure these financial statements are accepted by everyone, the Companies Act said, see, Mr. Company, you maintain books of accounts, you prepare financial statements, and you make sure that your financial statements are audited by an independent person. I will give you sections from 139 to 148. 148, not it's cost records. 147, dealing with how the audit of financial statements should be done. You follow those sections. Who will be happy? Shareholders will be very happy because there will be an independent person who will come and examine these books of accounts and audit the financial statements and also give his opinion. Are you getting my point? Because only with section 128 and 129, the Companies Act is only making the books of accounts and financial statements ready. But there is no credibility to it. So to enhance credibility, section 141 was introduced, which spoke about the qualification and disqualification of auditor. Section 139 is introduced to say who can be appointed as auditor. Section 142 is introduced, remuneration of auditor. 143, rights of auditor. 144, prohibited services. 140, removal of auditor. Are you getting my point? Do you understand why the act and the sections are designed? Because the Companies Act wants to make sure that whatever books have been kept under 128, whichever financial statements are prepared in 129, it needs to be mandatorily audited every year. It is a must. Companies Act is saying there is a compulsion to conduct audit of financial statements every year. It is required by the law. Here, audit of financial statements, I repeat, listen carefully, audit of financial statements is required by the law. The law requires the audit of financial statements to be conducted for a company. Do you understand? Do you understand? It is a must. It is called as compulsory audit. Compulsory audit of financial statements required by the law. Companies Act, it's an artificial person. As I told you, once an artificial person is incorporated, it has to follow the provisions of the act under which it is incorporated. And the Companies Act tells the company that please make sure that your financial statements are audited every year. And what you submit in AGM to the shareholders should be called as not just financial statements, it should be called as audited financial statements. And the person who conduct the audit is called as auditor. Do you understand? It will be called as audited financial statements. And the board of directors will submit a report called as board's report. And the auditor also will submit a report called as auditor's report. So Companies Act says, see, company, you maintain books, you prepare financial statements, you give your opinion in board's report about what you feel. But to make sure that the credibility is increased, I am going to bring out sections appointing an independent person to examine the books that you have done and to give his opinion on the financial statements. So your opinion you will communicate through board's report and the auditor's opinion will be communicated through auditor's report. Are you getting my point? So board's report, audit report. Same way if you take a bank, under the Banking Regulation Act 1949, under which it is incorporated, the banks have to mandatorily conduct audit of financial statements. Same case of insurance companies, they have to mandatorily conduct audit of financial statements. So these are all the situations where audit of financial statements becomes compulsory. As I told you, the question is, should every organization conducting business, maintaining books of accounts, preparing financial statements, conduct audit? Right now we have got one example. What if the organization is a company? It has to maintain books of accounts, it has to prepare financial statements, it has to conduct audit of financial statements. Are you getting my point? If the organization is a bank, it has to maintain books of accounts, it has to prepare financial statements, it has to conduct audit of financial statements. Now let's take the case of partnership, sole proprietorship. Now listen to me carefully. Now partnership, there is Partnership Act. But please understand, partnership is not incorporated under Partnership Act. Partnership comes out through an agreement between two persons. It may or may not be registered. And Partnership Act is not like Companies Act. That means Partnership Act does not say that you should do in the way I told you. Partnership Act is very, very, very good enough to say, see, you make a deed and you follow what you wish. Anyways, you and the business are the same. Your liability is unlimited. Do you understand? But you know, so the act of partnership does not say that you should maintain books, you should prepare financial statements, or you should do audit. Sole proprietorship also nowhere it is said you should maintain books, you should prepare financial statements, but you should and you should audit your accounts. But I am sure one thing, sole proprietor and partnership firms, even if nobody tells them, for the business to run smoothly, they need to maintain books of accounts, yes or no? They need to prepare financial statements, yes or no? Correct? They need to do it. Because only if you have good proper accounts, you will be able to what? Understand where your money is going. So because maintaining accounts has lot of advantages, every business organization, if they has to run function properly, they will maintain books of accounts. Now listen to me carefully. Nowhere it is said that partnership firm who are maintaining books should conduct audit. But if the financial statements are audited, don't you think there are a lot of advantages to it? There are a lot of advantages to it, because the moment your moment it is audited, the credibility of the financial statements increases. The credibility of the financial statements increases. So because the audit enhances the credibility of financial statements, these partnership firms, these sole proprietorship firms might decide voluntarily that their accounts needs to be audited by an independent person. Are you getting my point? They are not forced to do it, but they will do it looking at the advantages voluntarily. So it is not compulsory for them, but they might do it voluntarily. This comes under the voluntary category. So please understand, audit of financial statements, listen to me carefully. Audit of financial statement is either compulsory or voluntary. It is either compulsory or voluntary. Either compulsory or voluntary. Either compulsory or voluntary. Do you understand? Audit of financial statement is either compulsory or voluntary. That means, now coming back to this, if the organization is a partnership firm who is doing business, they may maintain books of accounts, they may prepare financial statements, they may conduct audit of their financial statements. If the organization is a company, they have to maintain books of accounts under 128, they have to prepare financial statements under 129, they have to conduct audit of their financial statement compulsorily. Are you getting my point? If the organization is a sole proprietorship firm, they may maintain books of accounts, they may maintain financial statements, they may audit their financial statements, okay or not. If the organization is a banking company, they have to maintain books of accounts, they have to prepare financial statements, they have to conduct audit of their financial statements compulsory. Do you understand? So this is one question which has been asked continuously in the exam. Types of audit of financial statements. Types of audit of financial statements. Audit of financial statement is either dash or dash. Compulsory or voluntary. Okay. So students, what you do, I'll tell you. In the new syllabus textbook, okay, new syllabus textbook, chapter number 1, okay, you will have a heading in page number 1.6, types of audit. What is it? Types of audit. Types of audit. There are two types of audit. One is audit required by law. Second is voluntary category. Okay, just read through these 2 points. Just read through these 2 points. Okay, what is audit required by law? That means audit is not legally obligatory for all types of business organizations or institutions. Okay, it is not legally obligatory. It is not legally required for every types of organizations. So for some organization, it is a must. For some, it comes under the voluntary category like proprietorship, partnership firms, Hindu undivided families, etc. Okay, and they say audit has a lot of advantages. When you do audit of financial statements, there are a lot of advantages. If you audit the financial statement, it will safeguard the financial interest of the persons who are not associated with the management of the entity. Now let me ask you, listen to me carefully. Is it only the shareholders or the owners or the management of an organization interested in the financial activities of the company? Listen to me carefully. Is it only the shareholders or the owners or management of the company or a partnership firm or any business organization who are interested in the financial activities of the company, or who are wanting to know the financial statements of the company? Is it only the owners and the management, or there are few others also who wants to go through the financial statements? I am waiting. Just name one or two other people who are. Are you all sleeping? There are people like whom? Banks, government, very good. Banks, government, investors, potential investors. Now these people are called as, these are the users of financial statements. These are the users of financial statements. There are internal as well as external users. The owners, management, employees are all internal users of financial statements. Government, banks, potential investors, financial analysts, competitors are external users of financial statements. These are called as users of financial statements. So not all these users are involved in the management of the entity. Correct? So if you do audit of the financial statements, the financial statement that they use will have more credibility. It will safeguard the financial interests of the persons who are not associated with the management of the entity. who are not associated with the management of the entity. Are you getting my point? It acts as a moral check on the employees. Employees will feel scared to do something wrong because they know financial statements are being audited. So it's a moral check on the employees. It is helpful in settling the liability for taxes, negotiating loans. Why? When loans are taken, business, there are a lot of things happening. See, everything ultimately boils down to the accounts, boils down to the accounting part. Do you understand? So, what is they are saying is, if the accounts are properly maintained, settlement of liabilities, etc., will be very easy. Because accounts, if it is audited, it is be more credible. So they'll believe the numbers there, and it helps in settling the issues, settling disputes. See, trade disputes, something like wages, discounts, or something like damages suffered. All these disputes will be settled if the accounts are audited, because audited accounts are always believed or it is credible. It will help in detection of wastage and losses. Business, if it is going on wastage, losses, something going wrong, then it will help in maintaining good books of accounts. Then it will help in understanding various controls in the organization. It helps in settlement of accounts in case of admission or death of a partner. Then government also may require certain accounts to be audited. So these are the advantages of audit of financial statements. Are you getting my point? If you do audit of financial statements, it will help the financial interest of the persons not connected with the entity. It acts as a moral check on the employees. Okay, it helps in settling liabilities, disputes, detection of wages, maintenance of good books of accounts, then understanding the various controls, settlement of accounts. Government requires certain accounts to be audited. All these advantages makes audit a very attractive thing for every business organization. These audits being so advantageous, make sure that organizations will want to have their accounts audited. But don't worry, in case of a company, banking company, it is a must. But partnership firms, etc., it depends whether they want to. Are you getting my point? So please learn two questions. One is types of audit, and second is advantages of audit of financial statements. Please learn these two questions for today. Are you getting my point? Are you able to follow what I'm teaching? Are you able to understand? See, this sentence is the most important sentence. An organization doing business, maintaining books of accounts, financial statements, should they audit their financial statements? Let me ask you, if the organization is a Section 8 company, if the organization is a Section 8 company doing charity, tell me, should they maintain books of accounts? Should they prepare financial statement? Should they audit their financial statements? Answer. If the organization is a Section 8 company, should they maintain books of accounts? Should they prepare financial statements? Should they conduct audit of financial statements? Is it a must? Section 8 company. Answer is yes. Yes. Why? Because it's a company. Because it is a company. Are you able to understand, my students? That is how you have to think from today. Do you understand? First, see what organization it is, whether any act is applicable. If act is applicable, see the act. For what? Books of accounts, financial statements, audit. Partnership, not incorporated under act. It's not an artificial person. So, voluntary decision. That is why two categories, either voluntary or what? Or compulsory. Okay, either voluntary or compulsory. Section 8 company, it is compulsory. Partnership firm, it is voluntary. Okay, proprietorship, it is voluntary. Okay, so two questions please learn. One is types of audit. Second is what? Regarding your advantages of audit of financial statements. Okay, so I hope the introductory session that we have dealt today is very clear. You've understood what is going to be coming in the few days. First day of class. It's been 8:20, so we have gone for at least almost 2 hours of a session. Okay, we'll sometimes, if the topics are a little hectic, I'll give you a small 5 minutes break in the middle. Don't worry about that. Okay, but audio, video, everything clear? Yes or no? Audio and video clear? Audio, video clear? Okay, when I ask you audio, video clear, you just tell me, yeah, you just type AV clear. Okay, if it is not clear, you say AV not clear. Okay, so audio, video is clear, AV is clear. Yes, so all the content that I've told is fine. Okay, online class is going to be good. Okay, just be very positive. It's the best way. Please tell your friends. Please inform your friends. Tell them to access this class. It will be available as recorded. Just tell them to listen to this. See what our plan is for November 2020. This is the best plan that you will get for November 2020. Okay, tell them not to miss the chance. Not to miss the chance. Okay. Okay, sometimes it is buffering. Okay, if it is buffering, maybe it is because of your net connection. Just go through and you can watch it later as recording also. Okay, so to understand, please tell your friends, inform them. Okay, the class is available. They can access it today, anytime. Tell them the importance of attending these sessions. It is going to be the best session for November 2020 examination available. So try to make the best use of it. I will be there with you till your examination. That is my promise. You know that I have always done it. I have WhatsApp groups. I keep putting questions, question papers. I've done that. I'll still continue to do it. So please make sure that you're getting the best for the November exam. November exam is going to be the best exam that we will clear the examination with superb marks. Okay. So see you tomorrow sharp at 6:30 in the morning at lakshyaclasses.com. Thank you so much for attending the session today. So have a good day. Stay home. Stay safe. And yeah, data consumption would be there. High that's what I said. Data consumption would be high. So make sure that you have that you will have to, you see, the traveling expense, many other exemption will not expense is not there for you. So obviously to get this quality of class, see, taking class in a Zoom platform or a meeting platform, what happens is we will not get the what do you say, that level of class that you require. But this is like a classroom. So obviously we will have to have some adjustments there. Okay, so try to adjust accordingly, try to use it, try to adjust accordingly regarding the data. I don't think data is that costly right now. That costly right now. It is something which is very much gettable for us. If anybody is facing issues regarding, yeah, you can reduce the quality of the video to reduce the data consumption. Sure. Okay. Okay. So please make sure. Network issues, I would say that here the streaming is perfect because I am watching the class right here. It is perfectly going. There has not been any stuck. So it could be because of the connectivity issues in your place. So if you get stuck, don't worry. It is there recorded available later. No. So even if you miss one or two points here, it will be fine. Don't worry. Okay. So just don't worry about all that. Everything will be fine. Okay. Have a good day. Thank you so much. See you. Bye-bye. Bye.